Okay.
You sit and you stand and wait and you wonder. You think maybe it's me and I'm being a fool. You sit and you stand and wait and you wonder. You think maybe it's me and I'm being a fool.
Hello.
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 Hello. Happy birthday. First of all.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Happy birthday to our sister Rachel.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Water.
Cheers.
Pepsi.
Could you hear the song like kicking out?
No.
Okay, must be my internet.
Love that intro. It's my fave.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Before I go on.
So tonight we are our third podcast, and we are doing shifting narratives. So here for the shifting narratives, what that means to us, maybe how we've done it, some things that we do to shift our narratives, or what we've done throughout our process so far to shift our narrative, and talk about that with you guys tonight.
Who
Yeah.
are you?
Who are you? I think, yeah. Who are you?
Who are you to be telling us?
I know, right? So I am Summer Dawn. I come from the Digüeño Kumeyaay tribe located here in California. Migrated from Baja. And I am 41. And yeah, here to talk about shifting narrative. So we touched on it a little bit last podcast, and we were talking, I had brought it up and I had said something about what did I say? It was about, what was it? Wait a minute.
No.
Hold up.
Sorry, I was responding to the comment.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I'm like just totally brain farted. What was I talking about?
You were talking about mindfucks, but do you want to talk about that
right.
after everybody introduces themselves?
That's why, yeah. But yeah, so yeah, I want to talk about that tonight, but I want to introduce everybody else. But yeah, so that's who I am. I am hey, you guys, okay? So I just had surgery. I feel like there's a thing that's like called brain surgery, like, but not really brain surgery, like post brain surgery. Like I'm in a fog, I swear. Plus full moon, so I could blame it on anything. But yeah, who's next?
We're here for you.
Thank you.
Space created.
Fog away. I'll go next.
Okay.
Yeah, my name is Rachel Yakiku.
Hey, girl.
Yeah, it's my birthday today. It says the really big across the screen right now. I'm from Beardy's and Okomasis Cree Nation in Saskatchewan. I'm Cree and Métis. I have two beautiful daughters. I'm really happy to be here today. I missed being with these ladies last week, so we all took some time to self-care. And now we're back today to connect with each other and with you around shifting narratives. And I'm just excited about this conversation today. What else? Yeah, that's really all I have to say.
Yay.
Thanks for being here.
Go ahead, Shay.
Let's see.
Tansei Tawao, everybody, welcome here for the shift. I'm super excited for tonight. Shaylin McCauley, Nitsiga-san, Yao Laurent, Saskatchewan, 86. Hello, everyone. I'm Shaylin. I'm from Northern Saskatchewan. I'm a Cree woman. Yeah, I'm so honored to be here and to be present for this third episode tonight. The full moon is daunting. Yeah. But yeah, I look forward to this topic. I think that it's going to be great, and I'm so happy that we can virtually share space with a girl.
Yes. I know, it's so nice.
Yes.
Tapausi Atika Tapasa Killabuk. Hello, my name is Tapasa Killabuk, and I'm an Inuk woman from Nunavut, but I live here in Monkinstis, Treaty 7. I am a mom to 3 wonderful children, and for my work, I'm a community organizer, and in my my life, I just like to be one chill ass dude. So thank you so much for sharing space with me today. I'm so excited. I think we're going to start with a fun little game to get to know each other a little bit more online and celebrate and have some birthday games for Rachel's 25th birthday.
Oh,
What? Birthday games? 25. I love it.
25.
Thank
Wow.
you.
That had me at 25. 25?
No.
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 Sorry.
Plus 13.
Yes.
Wow.
38 today.
Wow.
The big 38, almost 40. I'm excited. 37 was my best year yet,
Hi, Mom.
ever.
Yeah.
Hi, Mom. And 38's only going to be better. I know it. So,
Yes.
Anyway.
Mhm.
I
enough
accept
about
that. I received that.
Okay, so I just want to say before we play this game,
Mm-hmm.
the reason why we want to play the game is because we all, like, I knew Summer and I knew Taffy before the show. And then I met Shaylin on the podcast marathon that we had with Indigenous Podcast. And so these ladies have just met recently. And so now we're going to that's why we're going to get to know each other a little bit more.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Thank you, Haley. Okay. Anyways,
Excuse me.
who wants I can ask someone first, or
Yeah, you
somebody
do it.
else? Yeah?
Yeah.
Since I know nobody had it. Very cool.
I missed that part.
Okay. Okay. Do I just pick anybody, or how do you want to play? Do we do one person specifically with 5 questions? Fast 5, fire 5, this or that for one person?
5.
Yeah,
Fine.
let's do that.
Okay. Who do I
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
no. No, eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Pick me
That's
then.
a whole other show.
Pick me then.
Okay, Shaylin, let's go. Okay. So we're gonna play this or that, right? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Okay. Play in, if you're watching, please play also and put your answer in the comments so we can get to know you as well. Which, is that creepy?
No.
Okay.
I think like this. Never mind. Go.
Okay. A card game or a board game?
Board game.
Okay. Okay. Cups in the cupboard, right side up or upside down?
Ooh,
Mm.
that's a good one.
That is a good question.
I stole it from the internet.
So I put them upside down to dry. And when I put them in the cupboard, I'm assuming they're all dry, so I put them up.
Mm.
Okay. I like that. Ooh, like we get excited about fucking
Oh, no,
cups in the cupboard.
Cupboard though, like you might get dust inside, but it barely happens to me. So I put them up. I don't know. So like it depends. Sometimes they're like one's down and one's up.
Okay, so you just
Okay.
like mix it up. Most important in a partner, intelligent or funny?
Oh.
I think they're all stupid. So, funny.
They gotta be funny.
You said funny?
If there is no funny,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, are you even intelligent?
just,
Like, I don't know.
just like bring them home.
I'd rather have
Hey,
funny-
this is my new.
good.
Yeah,
Tell me how it is.
yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. This is my new man or woman, and I really love them. They're really funny, but
Funny.
they're dumb. Like, you know. Okay. What else did I have?
Growth.
Oh, movie at home or in the theater?
Ooh.
Home.
Yeah, movie theater's way too extra and expensive. But I do like the chairs there.
Mm.
Okay.
But for sure home.
Home. Okay. No sex. Would you vow to no sex for a year or no talking for a year?
No.
What?
Oh my gosh, silence is deadly.
It cut out.
Silence is a good lesson, but I don't know if I'd want to not talk for a whole year.
Right?
Yeah.
I'd rather be tight. I don't know. Is that TMI?
No. Honestly, no. I think no sex for a year is so fucking easy to do. But to not talk shit for a year, that would be a challenge.
Shit, summer.
Summer is like already silent. Okay. Last one, then someone else to go. Would you rather die in 50 years with many regrets or die in 20 years with zero regrets? No regrets. No regrets.
Sorry, say that one more time. Die in 50 years, no regrets, die.
No, would you rather die in 50 years with a lot of regrets or in 20 years with no regrets?
Oh,
No regrets.
no regrets, man.
No regrets.
No regrets.
Yeah.
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 I fucking love that guy that got that tattoo on him. He's probably someone's really funny boyfriend.
Oh, you're so funny. We all went to Thailand and someone got that done exactly like how it was. So, right in Bangkok. Hilarious.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah, that was
That was good. That was
That was
good.
Mm-hmm. Who wants to go next?
Well, if I go, I'm just going to be making up questions because I didn't write down my 5.
That's okay.
Okay, so I'll go.
Okay, who are you asking?
To
though?
ask.
Can I just ask in general, or you want me to ask a specific? I'll just go, and whoever wants to answer first.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um.
Your mom.
No sex because I have a lot of shit to say. Yeah, you do. You do.
I love
I
that.
love you, Donna.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
me too, Donna.
let's see. Travel. Okay. Fuck. This is gonna be bad. Okay. Travel with a ton of money or travel with no money. Is that even right? Fuck, I don't know. Someone ask a question for me.
Okay. Ooh.
Travel with no money.
Travel.
I
no
think-
money.
I would travel with a lot of money if I had to travel. Like,
With
Yeah,
money,
right?
but with
No, but hey, excuse me, I've done both. I've traveled with a lot of money and then I've traveled with absolutely no money, and I've had a ton of fun traveling with no money.
Oh, that was
Fair.
yeah.
Fair.
But
That
I-
would give me
but
a
then
lot
I
of
think-
anxiety.
Then maybe I think it also depends on where you go, because you can go to Mexico with no fucking money and still have a ton of fun.
This is
But-
true.
Mm.
And you can go to Mexico with money and then have no money because you give it to all the kids in the street that are selling you gum, and you're a fucking sucker, and you just like take it. Just take
Right.
it. Just have it all.
All my money.
Oh, I left there so broke. Okay. Next question.
Okay, shit. So,
Are you answering for yourself, Summer?
I think so.
Someone ask her a question. Like,
I'm
Okay.
asking. And
Do you want me to ask the questions because I kind of memorized them?
Yeah, you should.
Well, some of them. Or to Tappy, do you have some you want to ask?
Yeah.
Sure, I got lots.
Summer, just
I got tons.
Black or white?
got it right there.
I don't.
Oh,
you
God.
know. I came
Okay.
unprepared.
Okay, would you rather? It's would you rather always be 10 minutes late or always be 20 minutes early?
Oh.
10 minutes late.
Yeah.
If
Me.
Creator wanted me to be there on time, I would be.
All in divine time.
Right? Yeah.
okay.
Yep.
And that's never early.
No.
Unless sometimes it is. Okay. Oh, good one. Never use social media again or never watch TV again.
No TV. Easy. No TV. That I like social media only because I can connect like
I
this
went
with
to a-
you guys.
Oh, yeah, you're right. So, in that sense, yeah, I would do no TV. Yeah.
Frig, I love TV. I think I would go with TV and no social media.
I like that answer. Went to a power with no money. Yep.
Pretty sure I've done that too.
Yep.
And then I saw all the beadwork.
I know. Oh my gosh. See, that's where you need to go with a lot of money. A lot of money.
Oh, I like this one. Give up music for a month
Ooh.
or give up TV for a month.
No,
Sorry, it's all
TV.
about TV.
TV. Give it up.
TV.
I gotta have my music.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Gotta have my jams.
Would you lose your would you rather lose your sense of smell or lose your sense of taste?
Oh,
No.
I don't want to answer that one.
Okay, well, you can pass. Pass.
Pass.
Okay.
Hey, Rachel
Rough
gave
crowd.
exposure one, man. Like, come on. Hit it hard.
Yeah.
Okay.
I made that one up myself. You won't find that one on the internet.
Nice.
Just like Summers.
I know. Would
Would
you?
you rather travel with money or no money?
Well, because I done both.
Should I Google this or that dirty questions?
Ooh.
No.
Just make one up. Summer, I know you have these in your mind.
I do, but they're all bad. They're all naughty.
Naughty.
Well, would you rather be naughty or nice?
Oh, that's a good one.
Nice.
Well, yeah, nice.
Being nice will get me somewhere too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Aw.
funny.
This is my mom. Happy birthday, Rachel. Happy birthday. Thanks, Mom. Love you.
Well, does anyone watching have any would you rather questions? If you do, put them up.
Put them up.
Put them
up. Put them
We want to know
Put 'em
you.
up.
Okay.
Okay, I found one. I got one. I got a response.
Okay.
Have any of you had to hold your baby while going pee? Yeah.
Yes.
Most of the time, if I have to go number 2, he's in there with me.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, plenty of times. Mm-hmm.
He's so cozy.
Trying to think.
Okay, 2 more.
2 more would you rather?
2 more. And then we're going to shift
The narrative.
the narrative to talking shit. Have you ever, oh, that's the same one.
Oh,
I
I
saw
saw
one.
another one. Oh. Would you rather be in the sun or in the snow?
Oh, son.
The sun for sure.
Yeah.
One
I'm
for me,
so. It just snowed
Really,
here.
Shay?
really. I love the snow.
You do?
Oh, I
That's
have to.
cool.
Love the feeling that you can just go outdoors, and if you're snowshoeing or if you're skiing and you're doing anything outdoor, you will not overheat.
Mm.
And then just snowmobiling or ice fishing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Get hot on the damn
I
boat.
think
And like I'm so I can get heat stroke because I've gotten it before, and so
Yeah.
that game going in the summer, and I don't know. Would you rather burn or like would you rather like you're
freeze
like
to freeze,
death or burn?
burn or what?
Death.
Burn to death or freeze to death?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck.
Neither.
I would say
Neither.
I feel like I have burned to death a lot in other lifetimes, but that's a whole other show too.
Yeah. Anyways,
I would say I don't know actually. Both would suck.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But do you think that like in either situation you can consciously like leave your body to not really feel that, right? Like,
I mean, it's what I do in the ice bath.
so you could like it feels real, but we can elevate out of that those senses of what we're feeling.
Mhm.
So if I can, do that, then probably burn to death.
Mm.
Oh my goodness.
Hmm.
Summer, how many times do you do a ice bath?
Try to do it at least once a month. And usually sit about 3 to 5 minutes in the ice.
Like within your bathtub, you pour ice in there, or you?
No, we have a huge aluminum tub. It's like a watering trough
Okay.
used for livestock, but we use it as like a huge ice tub. And we put like 10 to 12 bags of ice in with the water, and we just submerge and sit for about 3 to 5 minutes.
Burr.
Yeah.
Usually
Rainbow.
May, June, everybody's in the water, like, because it's still like freezing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Dive.
Oh, we have a question for you, Summer.
Oh. So this is something that I definitely want to talk more about, but the purpose of the ice bath is on a physical level, it helps initiate your adrenal glands. It jumpstarts your immune system. It activates your innate system, which is part of your immune system. I do it, it's very spiritual for me, in the sense that I call it forced meditation. It kind of makes you go within yourself, and you're really having to focus on your breathing, and you are kind of transcending yourself to a place where you can sit comfortably for 5 minutes in the ice. So it's very spiritual for me. There's a lot of mental benefits as well as physical benefits. Yeah.
Yeah, it helps with circulation quite a bit, hey?
Yeah, it does. Yeah. So because it constricts your blood vessels, but then when you get out, your body naturally warms. So then it kind of like reopens all of your vascular system and your ventricles and stuff back up. In the ice bath, should it be like if you're a beginner, they always say you get the physical and mental benefits out of it within a minute. They suggest not staying in longer. You're getting the maximum benefits at 3 minutes, and I usually like to stay in for about 5. And it's after that point, it's just all preference, but you need to make sure that you're kind of being monitored if you're going to extend past 5 minutes. Because even though you're doing the breath work, which is helping to sustain your core temperature, you can still become hyperthermic. But the practice is to prevent you from doing that. So it's called the Wim Hof method, is the person who has done it. So if you look up Wim Hof, it'll tell you the breathing technique and the ice and all that stuff. But yeah, it's definitely mental for me. That's why I do it, but it has a ton of physical benefits as well.
How long have you been doing it? One more question.
My husband, he is certified. He's a certified instructor of Wim Hof, and we've been practicing it for a little bit over 2 years.
Good for you. Yay, that's so awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, I would love to talk more about it. We'll definitely do that.
That's such a fun topic to talk about with the mental game.
Yeah, definitely.
That and birthing.
Yeah.
Such mental, so meditation is big for that. And I love how Connor played that. So
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Would you say that Wim Hof for you was something that helped you with elevating your thinking and the stories that you tell yourself? Right.
I'm sorry. The question. Wim Hof. Yeah. Like,
no, for you, like was Wim Hof something that helped you elevate into different like narrative for yourself around the stories that you tell yourself? Because it is such a mental, emotional, spiritual, obviously physical because you're in a freezing bath, but
right. Yeah, like so that kind of would go into like shifting narrative, I guess. I can transition the story into that because it really does.
I love you so much.
Thank you.
I just love you so much.
So it really does really help strengthen your mental abilities. So it really puts you in that headspace that some people have such a hard time finding it if you're just doing the standard meditation. Some people have a hard time with it. Like I have a hard time if I'm just trying to sit and focus. My mind goes a million different places. But that's why I called it forced meditation. So the method really just makes you're instantly within yourself, almost like childbirthing, where you really have to just focus and know that your mind is such a powerful thing and that you're within your body and you are this powerful being of energy and resource, and that you can sustain yourself. And that's on the physical form. And then in the mental form, it's the same. Like you can sustain yourself and you just become like this powerful light. Like it's really beautiful. Like I really have felt myself kind of transcend so many times in just sitting in an ice bath. And it's a beautiful, powerful moment. And that's where I have shifted a lot of my thinking and realizing my power.
Hmm.
But it's only within those like moments that you realize how not just physically strong you are, but how mentally strong you are, and what your full capability is. And I feel like going through those practices have allowed me to understand and realize those inner strengths.
Beautiful.
But it's definitely an intense practice. I mean, that's why a lot of people don't do it, because it's, for one, it's uncomfortable, but that's how we grow. I feel like that's how we learn about ourselves, is stepping out of our comfort and learning more about ourselves. So it's an uncomfortable practice, but I think you can learn so much about yourself by doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah. Maybe we'll do an ice bath on here one day.
Oh my gosh.
Rachel.
What?
Did you do it, Rach, when you were in California? No.
No, she wanted me to. And I went, but I did swim in her pool, which was very cold.
Mm-hmm.
At the time. But for her, I think it was more cold, because she, like, in California, you're cold. Like, when you're cold, that's like hot to me, living where I live. So it was like, what was it when I was there the first time? 23 Celsius, 24.
Yeah.
And that's when I swam, and it was spring and it was cold, but it was nice. That was really cold for her, because, I mean, it's nice weather, but it's usually like 34 there.
Right.
So it just, like, it took a while. Like, I think just acclimating to the difference in the weather. But no, I haven't done it. There's this guy here. I live in Saskatoon, and I see him all the time, especially like winter, spring. Well, I see him all year round, because he walks in my area where I live, and he walks barefoot all winter with a shorts and a t-shirt on and a backpack and headphones and bare fucking foot.
Yeah.
And I thought, every time I drove by him, I kept thinking, that guy's probably like a Wim Hof dude, because he had that mental focus to be able, and minus 40, like minus 35, 40 weather, I saw him walking.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so there's different ways that you could probably practice that, hey?
There is. Like, some people will just sit out in the cold and do a full body exposure. And that's a good practice too,
Well, and I know an elder shared one time, when it starts to get colder, like the weather shifts, you start turning your shower, the temperature of your shower, colder before you get out. Like the last 30 seconds, 10 seconds, 30 seconds, and work your way up, because I don't really know the whole like teachings behind it, but it would be like your body is adapting to the natural shift in the weather, right? So it's getting colder, so you're getting your body, your mind, your spirit ready to kind of like move with nature.
Right. Yeah. It says it's a good way to start is the showers. Yeah.
Berkeley does that.
That's what my husband told me to do, and I just couldn't do it because my brain, this is another thing about the mind, I associate my showers, my baths, with like relaxation and warmth and just being like, that's a joyful thing for me. I just couldn't do it. Like, it was the worst thing ever. And the same thing about the pool. My mind associated the pool with relaxation and fun, and like, I don't want to get in when it's cold. Like, it's like the worst thing ever. But I can sit in an ice bath for 5 minutes, no problem. But I think it's how I'm perceiving my experience, my past experience with my nice warm baths and the shower and the pool being fun, where shifting narrative, like I could do it no problem if I really wanted to, but my brain is telling me that you're not supposed to do that, because you look at this as a joyful thing, but yeah. And the ice bath, you see ice, your brain recognizes it, your brain knows that it's cold, so you're already you're expecting it to be uncomfortable.
That's like conscious living investigation. Have you guys ever heard of that? Right? Yes, Shay?
Yeah, I've heard.
Yeah. So you already have a belief or perception around what the bath means to you, right?
Right.
I remember this one time I did one of those, I guess it's not really a session, but a girl I know, a practitioner that I work with, that I do body talk with, and she's an energy worker, whatever you want to call it. She did this process with me, and it was really simple. It's like around peppermint tea, which, if you think about what it is that you like to go to for comfort, or, what is that, that makes you feel a certain way, right? You think it's making you feel a certain way when you are utilizing something outside of you. So we use peppermint tea in my example because we went for tea, and so it just like came up. And what I found was I had this this unconscious part where tea for me, I always went to drink tea when I felt like blah, like when I felt like, ugh, like just like low energy. And basically the word that came up was blah. Like, so what happened over years when I would have tea is I would have tea and I would relate that and connect that and feel that emotion. When I was feeling that emotion, I would equate that with having peppermint tea. So I actually never really enjoyed the tea, right? Ever, because I felt blah when I wanted tea. When I wanted tea, I felt blah. So when I did that, and you just like kind of clear it from your consciousness, now it's like I have tea when I feel good. And it's something that I consciously choose to drink once in a while. And it doesn't have that emotion with it anymore, that feeling from when I used to do that to create some sort of experience for myself.
Right. That negative.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah. I can actually relate to that, and like maybe someone else can with like hot chocolate. You go sliding, you go outdoors in the cold, and then you want to come in and have hot cocoa with marshmallows, like kind of like the same vibe, right?
Yeah.
I learned psychology.
Yeah.
The conscious living, CLI.
Yeah. Well, because you're connecting things with an experience, and then that thing gets attached to that emotion, or that feeling, so but I mean, I'm recognizing it, and like you said, like changing. Now you can have a cup of tea. It doesn't have to be because you feel blah, and you can enjoy it, yeah. Changing, shifting.
Oh, the shifts.
Yeah.
Oh,
For sure.
Rachel, what's one thing that you've done in the past that really shifted your narrative?
In the past, or that I just kind of
Yeah.
do
Whatever.
all the
Yeah,
time?
whatever works for you right now.
I feel like I've done a lot of different things because I've always been just drawn to that kind of stuff. I was reading true crime, like murder books when I was like 11 because I was fascinated with the mind and always wondered what people, went through or experienced to do something like that, or like whatever it is that they did. And so I've always been fascinated with the mind and how the mind works and how it's just so infinite. Like we think that we're so limited to things, right? The things that we see and experience around us. And it's funny because the mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's imaginary. And so we can be creating all of these stories that feel like they're happening, that feel real, right? Because we have these senses in the physical experience, in the human experience. But a lot of the times they're not. And that's where we can start to feel a lot of anxiety. And with that comes depression. And I struggled with that for years and suffered really badly with extreme anxiety is what, it would want. Maybe I don't really like labels, but and in that experience, I just would like, how can your mind be so caught up in horrible things and thoughts and intrusive thoughts and just heavy thoughts? And why does this feel so shitty all the time? And why do I feel so heavy? And why do I, think like this? And am I fucking crazy? I went through a lot of that. And it was really what helped me was really healing my emotional wounds, that you might want to call, I don't know what you want to call them, but those fragments in our spirit, right, from our experiences that maybe have kind of split when something happened. And mind, body, spirit is all connected. So I started to get into body talk about 13 years ago, which is a modality that kind of derives from, again, Chinese medicine in a way, and kinesiology. And, it works with muscle memory. So you could just sit here right now and ask yourself, I'm lovable. And you can put your pinky together with your thumb like this, and then hook them just like this, and then ask a question that you want to, we want the answer to, and you ask the question, and if it pulls apart easily, then your subconscious mind is not in alignment with that. So that's like a muscle testing kind of technique that, like I'm loved. So then if it stays, it's like harder to pull apart, then you're aligned with that belief. So I got into
Cool.
Oh my
I got
God.
into I
That's
got in.
amazing.
Well, now you guys can just be like, I am loved, and then strengthen
Or
that,
like,
right?
one where you put your arms out and then someone pushes down.
Yes, yeah. You can just push like by your shoulder. Yeah, that's another way to do it. So yeah, I just got into that and healing my body because I experienced a lot of trauma from when I was young. Sexual trauma, and then just like when I was a teenager, and then abuse and things like that. Those were like, it was a lot of chaos in my experience, and my body, it was just so reactive to every single thing. I was fucking triggered all the time. And I didn't really make the connection, between what was happening in my body all the time and what was happening in my mind. I knew consciously that I could create things very quickly when I was young. That's never kind of been something I didn't know. And I knew how powerful our minds were, but I didn't know how to navigate that, right? I think a lot of us don't when we're young, right? But maybe depends what kind of environment you come from. So anyways, I got into that modality where I learned how to heal my body and my mind and my spirit and my emotions. And that's why, that's how I started to change the way that I thought, because the way that we think is connected to how we feel.
Yep.
And how we feel is the energy that's amplified into our experiences. That's what creates our experiences. So if we're constantly in a feeling heavy and angry and just a lot of distress, then a lot of our experiences are going to reflect that. And that's how I felt for a really long time, and it fucking sucked. So I really focused on, my intentions were I'm going to release myself from these limitations, and I learned how to retrain my brain. I learned that your brain is plastic and you can literally tap on different points on your brain, on your head. There's 4 different points. They're called cortices, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points. And you can literally have a new brain in like 4 months after doing that 4 or 5 times a day, because our brain is expansive. It's neuroplasticity, right? So you can alter that. And I don't believe that everybody that has something diagnosed, like doctors would try to diagnose me with depression and anxiety and shit like that, and I was just like, no, I'm good. I don't fucking believe that, but thank you, goodbye. So when I, it's that belief that there's not a limitation to what we're capable of when it comes to allowing our minds to be free. We have a universal right to freedom with our mind. And a lot of people's minds are owned by things in the world, by the people and government, and I don't want to say too much like online, but I don't know. For me, it was retraining all of that, healing the emotional part, which is the number one thing I would say is so important, because it's how we feel. Like the universe responds to who we are and how we feel, not what we do. So that's what helped me. And now I help other women do that. I help other people transform all of that, to that overwhelm, the stress, to feeling peace and joy and clarity, and the freedom to create a life that they want, that is in alignment with them. That is why I show up and do this work every day. So
yeah, I'm vibrating.
hey.
Yes.
Sharing that. That's such a great message.
Yes.
Shay, share with us.
I highly agree with everything you just said, and I'm just I flow with that every day. I'm still on that journey though of just learning and growing and trying to develop new tools and skills that I can utilize, that I can share. But what you were saying about when you go to a therapist, I've seen a therapist long enough in my life to be able to say no, that has not worked for me. It's good to debrief. I totally advocate for debrief sessions in a safe space where someone is going to create that safe space for you to be vulnerable, and for them to just listen, right? But I've been manipulated in so many situations, like to the point where they're like trying to get me to think like in my past traumas that I've already like gotten through, you know, like just trigger the fuck out of me in that session. And I like to call that systemic abuse because I've been like, they make Sunyao off of diagnoses, you know, like the fuck. But I'm just gonna leave that there because that's a whole nother topic. But I totally can relate to that. And but the question tonight, how have we shifted our narratives? You know, I thought about this all day. I just couldn't really stick to one topic, you know, like just one thought process and kind of go follow through with that. But the one thing that I have shifted in my life for sure is dropping my ego and following my soul. And that's a big one for me. And like, just give me 1 sec. Okay, maybe 2 seconds.
Oh my gosh, you were so fast.
But just really trying to find that love like within, and to lead a life of love, you know, and to really not let my mentality fuck with my emotion, you know, like, because I need to follow my heart, but just know when to have an open and closed heart with things that you do, people you meet, but just to awaken that love within, and to release the ego, like, you know, just, we all have an ego, identify it, but not let that take control of the things that you do, and like just that be your power, you know what I mean? Don't let ego be power in life. But to surrender to your soul, you know, like let your soul and your intuition, your achak, your achak is like, that's what we say, how we say it in our language, that's like the star people, right? That's right here, where we come from, right? And so that's a whole nother Indigenous story that we could go into. But anyways, just surrendering to that soul, and finding that purpose driven, just having that startup in your life, and yeah, just manifesting visions. You guys kind of feel like what I mean. I have this book here. I was gonna share it with you ladies. I met a lady who's from Saskatchewan. Her name's Janice Taylor, and she went through quite a bit in her life. She was in domestic violence. Like she went through domestic violence and relationships with people, but she's been through a lot in her life. But in the end, it was just right here, you know, just all about healing herself and her inner self. And she actually gave me this book, and it's called Wisdom Soul Startup, and it's by Janice Taylor. And she had written me a sweet message in it. Let me just find the message here. She said, "Shay, you are magnificent, unconventional, and rare. Your life has a calling. It is a call to love and be loved always." And that is so sweet. And I only met Janice once, and it was at a women in business workshop. And she had just come, and she talked all about, like, she has a journal. You can look her up. I think she still has a website. But she had given me this book, and it's all about wisdom, soul, and startup, and like just following your heart, healing your heart, and following that intuition. and to awaken yourself of love, and to really let go of ego. And like ego is like that's a that can go deep, right? We could talk about ego in so many different ways. But I think that, like, just in my life, I don't want to let my ego get the best of me and the things that I can do, the things that I'm passionate about, and the things that I've come to learn. I don't try and flip my beliefs onto other people. Try and make people believe what I think is right, you know. Just the things that I've learned. I don't say, oh no, this is how it's gonna be, this is how it is. Like, really, that's like the ego talking, right? It's really just people come into your life and you can share things with them, and people can come into your life and they'll share things with you. I think that's that a love awakening, and that that's I've carried that close to me. But manifesting vision, it almost seems like an impossible dream sometimes. But like, I feel like I'm always trying to manifest in my life too. And just follow that like soul path, and all the dreams that I've had in my life, I try not to ever give up on those things, and to really just keep manifesting, keep working towards. Just a quick short story I wanted to share. I am 22, if anybody here doesn't know how old I am. So when I was younger in grade school, I grew up, I was a contemporary ballet dancer. I danced my entire life since I was 3 years old. And I always wanted to attend the National Ballet School in Canada, in Toronto. And I never did. I got brought to the res, and I was like, oh my gosh, dance is over. I no longer attend a dance school. I'm not going to graduate as a dancer. Whatever. I'll work all over the res, and I'll teach it in the schools. I'll do whatever I can to keep manifesting this love for dance and to really share it with young people. And so I went to the band, and I was like, hey, please hire me. I was 14 years old. And I was like, please hire me. Like, I want to teach in your schools. And so they did. They hired me. I made $26 an hour at after school programming. It was a great job. I saw the love within these little kids, and I said, I don't want to be paid for this anymore. And I started to volunteer on and off reserve. And it kind of just, it kept going over time, and I kept manifesting and growing. And I put lots of passion into like these hopes and these desires, and like my dreams almost became these young people's dreams, right? And I was sharing these dreams and these passions with these young people. But as I was trying to manifest that growth as like a dance instructor within my community, all of my manifestations as my inner child, my child, started to flourish, and opportunities started to come to me, because the universe was like, girl, you have been putting such great stuff out into the world. You deserve this. And like, it just hit me. Like this letter came to me, and they were like, apply for this. You have this opportunity to go and teach at the National Ballet School in Toronto. Do it. So I applied, and I thought it was going to be like, have you ladies applied for something and you were like, oh, I'm not going to get in. I'm just wasting my time, but I'm just going to do it anyway. Yeah, I've done that. And that was the time. And I got in, and I went to Toronto. I went to NBS, National Ballet School, and I walked out of there like a dance instructor, and so my dreams did come true, right? I didn't get to attend as a student, but I went as a teacher. And for that, that's a really fulfilling accomplishment. And the growth is still continuing though, right? And so that's why I like to tell people, like, never give up on your dreams. Follow your dreams, never give up. That manifestation, never stop manifesting and growing. and throwing good out there into the world, and throwing love out there, and because it'll come back.
Mm-hmm.
It always comes back. And like when we have nothing in our lives, sometimes we feel like we have nothing in our lives, like money, for instance, right? But when we give, like we just give anyway, it eventually does come back to us, right? And that was a terrible example with money, but like just anything, anything. Yeah, like food in your fridge, feeding a bunch of people, and
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, now I got no food in my fridge and got no money to put the food back. Like people will feed you,
Mhm.
and so it's, yeah, I kind of just wanted to share a little bit of that. I'm also like surrender, like someone commented, surrender
To your heart.
your heart. Yeah, like when you can surrender to your heart for sure, but like even surrendering to your soul,
Mm.
like it's almost like when you walk away from everything you thought you knew, and you didn't know where your journey would take you in the end. It's just like it's like a roller coaster. Yeah, I forgot where I was going with this, but like I think surrender. Like, have you guys ever heard that song? It's called Surrender. You want me to sing it? You guys know. So come on, sing it.
Sing it. What is it?
Lady. She's like, can we surrender? You can.
I know what song you're talking
You know what
about.
song you're talking about? Keep have you sing it then.
I love all of that. You guys shared such good
Surrender
things.
is like overcoming those obstacles and just like putting, like, you don't always have to put 2 feet in, but like sometimes do let that fear drag you, surrender to that. Like even in labor, like surrender to the pressure. Like if you like just release, it's if you flow with energy and the universe and you just trust the process, everything will align and come together. Like
Mm.
force. I'm learning my shifts still. So I just want to say that. And I'm going through a lot of transitions in my life right now, especially with each moon phase, like that's a big one for me. Yeah,
Yeah.
with rites of passages too, and like in traditionally, like the 7 sacred fires of from when we're conceived all the way until we die. Like those are tremendous transitions in our life, right? From being a little woman into an adult and then into your purity of womanhood, right? There's so many minor details that we don't really catch on to. Sometimes we jump ahead and then like, oh wait, like I didn't learn that, and so there's different things that come and go, but I'm still learning my shifts, and I hope that made sense in a way. I'm gonna look back at this and be like, oh God.
No, I think it makes sense. And I think what you and Rachel both have said, that a lot of the shifting comes from healing and going through experiences and then realizing what needs to be healed within that.
Yeah.
And then applying the healing is what provides you the shift.
Yes.
And I think that there's a lot of lessons involved in that. And yeah, I think it's good, and just through experiences, but not to just to take the experience and just be like, oh, okay, well, that was shitty. Like, take a lesson from it. if you need to heal from it, figure out how you need to heal. And there's a lot of different ways of healing. We've talked about that, talked about a little bit about that. And yeah, and then heal. And then there's shifting that's involved with healing, which I think is great, you know?
Yeah, and finding balance too, right? Balance is a huge part in my shift too, like
Yeah.
balancing that. And I think you talked a lot about that too, Summer, with like mind, body, soul, spirit. Like it's like our emotions
So
have to find that balance. And
definitely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Thank you for sharing,
I think
Shayla.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Did I already share? I feel like I already shared, but maybe I don't know. Do you want to go, Tappy?
I don't know. I was trying to like think so hard about it, and you guys had some really interesting things to say, but there's just some things like the postpartum depression that I just went through was the most realist thing I've ever like one of the most realist like moments of my life where I felt like I didn't want to be here anymore. And I went to I went to a therapist and she guided me through a lot of things where she was actually very supportive, and a lot of the work that I was doing, but I found a really good therapist. Um, I really do believe that I had, like, postpartum depression. Um, I and a lot of I had to shift my mind again. Like, I know that postpartum depression is not permanent either, so maybe that's why, um maybe that's why I had, um that shifting my narrative had a profound effect on my life. But it was really nice for me to know that, I was inside, I was in a state of something, of an imbalance. And maybe it's not a chemical imbalance in my brain, but it was like an imbalance where my narrative was not aligned in any way. And I needed to find that support to get through that. And I did a lot of that with affirmations. Like I wrote affirmations every single day to help me convince myself that was like I was I should have the will to be here and I deserve to be here and I'm a good person and all of those things. And I think I know a lot of it has stemmed from the trauma that I experienced as a kid and all of that fucked up shit that I had to go through up until 4 years ago. And even now with my work, it's so traumatic. Sometimes it's awful, but but then I started doing yoga and that was a part of shifting my narrative because I was being physical. I was I attended to the four parts of the medicine wheel where it was my physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional parts of me. And they were all wacky and I needed to bring it back to a circle and where it was secular again. And that was it was quite the process, but like I said, I was doing affirmations. I was doing yoga. I went for walks. I looked at myself in the mirror and was just you are amazing. And, and I really had to rely on my community because in that moment, I wasn't really able to, I couldn't do it on my own. So, but it's but now that I'm outside of that part of healing, I'm able to shift my narrative in different ways and transcending is something that I've been trying to attempt, but it's really hard. But meditating has been really amazing. Walking again has been really amazing. And then praying, I think, and with like with the 4 medicines, I think that's so like helps me, and I'm getting better at praying. I've never really been a good prayer.
Prayer.
But I think that helped a lot of my like narrative shift too, because like I'm able to like connect to like outside of myself to my higher self, and I think that is really really impactful. And then checking myself, I often like check myself with tarot card readings, because I am just like a beginner in this shift, I guess. And the tarot cards help me understand what's going on in my life. So yeah, that's like where I am right now. It's been quite the process.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You've been putting in the work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
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 Because she's here for the shift.
Yes.
We're for this shift. And that's why I'm like so excited for this podcast, because I know I'm going to learn so much. And I loved what you have to say about ego. I think that was so beautiful. And I know like Rachel talks a lot about like love,
Mhm.
and that's like that is a big part of my life that I felt like I was missing. I didn't get enough of, or like it wasn't available to me, or it showed up in ways that it was like that was not good. And loving myself and loving my family and loving like the land, loving like the water, loving my like candle, like just really feeling everything with love, like
Mhm.
eating food with love,
Yes.
like texting with love, talking to you guys with love. Like that has just like it like gives me chills just getting it all out, because I just love and I love people and I love my life, and I'm just so happy that a lot like love comes in a abundance
Mhm.
in here. And I feel like I like replaced my ego with love. Like I was just like, fuck you, ego. I just got love.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Aw.
I almost equate love with gratitude. Like I'm
Mm.
love and so grateful, and I talk a lot about gratitude and how like my um I shift so much of my day just through gratitude. But it's gratitude and love is almost like equal to me, where I'm shifting. Yes, prayer is meditation. Amen. Um,
Mm.
but I'm shifting my narrative throughout the day through with love, equally with gratitude, and I feel like that's something that is so important. So I'm really glad that you said that, because um that that's such a big thing when we're learning about ourselves, and loving ourselves first, like pushing aside your ego. Yes. um, Loving yourself, accepting yourself, and then we're able to see the love that we are receiving from others. If we don't love ourselves, it's so hard to see the love that we are receiving from others. Our perception is so different, and it's clouded, and it's unclear when we don't love ourselves, you know um
Mhm.
and one of the ways that I continue to shift my narrative is how I choose to speak to myself, the words that I use, and I had read something where this was, instead of like if you're late, which we are always late. I'm late. So instead of walking in the room and be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry I'm late, we can say, oh my God, thank you so much for waiting for us.
Yeah, thanks for being.
Mhm.
Thank you for being,
Yeah.
thank you for, because when you say I'm sorry, you're claiming blame for
Mhm.
something, so
Mhm.
shifting the way that we speak to ourselves, shifting the way we speak to others. Like what I was saying about the whole mind fucking thing, changing that narrative, changing what it means, understanding we can be any place, anywhere, anytime, whenever we want, because our mind is so powerful. That's a mind fucked. And that's what we were discussing the last time. Not being like, somebody did something wrong to us, or somebody pulled something over on us, or somebody did something shady. That would be the typical term of mind fuck. Changing the narrative, changing what it means to us, flipping the meaning. That is shifting narrative, so I do it all day long, choosing how I speak to myself, choosing how I speak to others, my perception on certain events or things, or what I would consider traumas in my life, choosing how I look at them, choosing how I approach it, deal with it, heal through it. Those are all things. Everything that you guys have said has resonated with me because I've used them in my life. But I really feel like it will help others.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Do you guys know, have you ever heard of Dr. Emoto? Emoto. E-M-O-T-O. I don't know how to say his name. He's a Japanese scientist. And he did that experiment with water where it crystallized.
Yes.
Right? And based on the environment that it was in and what he was saying to it. So that
yeah.
So that basically, it's like we're made of water. We're like so much water. So he had this experiment, and then people started like kind of drawing off of that experiment and doing these experiments at home. And I remember I did it with the girls several years ago. And you put water in a jar and you write down like all these negative thoughts and emotions and things that you would say to it, like you're a piece of shit, or just like whatever maybe you heard right in your home growing up, or those reoccurring kind of beliefs and thoughts, like you're dumb, you're not good enough, are you stupid, like whatever it is for somebody. You write that on the jar and you put it in a spot, and then you take another jar and you write down like loving ones, like I love you, you're beautiful, you look amazing today, you're full of joy, you're like whatever. And when you do that, this is what happens. The ones with the negative statements, that shit turns black and mucky and cloudy and murky, and the other one is just really clear. And that is what happens to us when we talk shit to ourselves, and we reiterate these bullshit belief systems and these thought patterns that are not true. They're illusions. Because it's our birthright to know that we're enough, to be enough, to have enough, to do enough. Joy is our birthright. Abundance is our birthright. Love is who we are. So it's like just starting to change the way you talk to yourself, like Tappy was explaining, and same, in Summer, and then believing that. And telling those new stories that uplift you, that fill you up with love, for yourself and for the people around you, is so important, because that's what's reflecting into the world. That's what's reflecting into the collective consciousness, and is not just about us. It's everything is connected.
Yeah.
It's not about changing anything out there. It starts with us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
power. I
Yeah.
totally agree with that. And then like also with energy, Rachel, like I know you'll get this one and same with you ladies. But like there's two types of energy, life giving and life taking. And it's up to us on like it's about ownership and like what are we going to put into, you know? Are we going to put into the life taking energy or the life giving? It's almost like relating to, there's a story that like an elder had shared with me, and it's about the white and the black wolf. And
Oh, right. What you're gonna feed.
yeah, and what you're going to feed, right? And
Yeah.
talking about like, are we going to feed ourselves that shit?
Mhm.
Hell no.
No, no, no.
Oh. Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
No, the fuck I won't.
And I love that there's so many different ways to teach these important conversations, like with young people,
Yeah.
people, and there's just not enough conversation about it.
Yeah.
Really, there really is not, and that's the number one thing that our young people and like everybody is going through something. Everyone's going through a shift, but no one's not talking about it enough.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, it's not a very open. There's not enough safe spaces to talk about.
Yeah.
And so I'm like 100, maybe 98% sure that I saw like energy colors this morning. And I don't even know how to like explain it, but like I was going to go change Ezra's bum, my baby. And then I hurt my arm and like I broke this wrist in December and it like I landed on it when I went to go down and then I could just like I like lifted it back up and I could just see like the colors faintly and like what that pain looked like.
Oh, yeah.
And then I looked at Ezra and he was like just like we just had this like crazy like this wild connection and I just like felt him connected to me and could see the like see something but I like and I like the only thing I can explain it as is like energy I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
you know
Everything.
so
Oh my God. I just get chills and goosebumps. So when you were sharing, Tappy, your experience with this postpartum experience and this year, all I kept hearing was that's like your awakening. Like that was a catalyst for your awakening. And
mhm.
so the people right now, like the shift, when I say if we're here for the shift, I'm fucking talking about the shift in the collective consciousness that is the most transformative shift in consciousness ever in humanity that is happening now.
Mhm.
Starting. It's in the process. And we came here for this shift. We came here for this time. We chose to be awake for this time, wake up. Like everybody when is awakened to a new level of awareness and consciousness than they were last year before the pandemic. This is a big this is a huge expansive thing, and there's other people that have might have experienced something this past year, you know, something heavy, a relationship just like falling apart, all, you know, like just falling away. Like all of these things are the illusions that we were like, this is who I am. Oh my God, my life. I love my life. And
They're being pulled
I'm
back.
yeah, this is what I do. And this, I'm known as my job and my position and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, really? But then this experience happens and the illusion, the veil starts to lift, right?
Mhm.
And then you start to find out that you're not fucking any of that. And so it's super exciting, but it can feel completely shitty
Yeah.
when you're going through the motions of it and you don't know what the fuck is going on.
Mm-hmm.
Like you feel like you're going crazy. And then you try to explain things to people, how you're feeling, maybe how you're shifting, what you're seeing, you know, what's happening around you. Maybe you start to just like tune into different things. Your body releases, you know, everything. You start eating differently. Your body's like, nah, I don't like that anymore. Like everything shifts within you.
Yeah.
And then your friends are like, she's crazy. And then your friends and then your family thinks you're crazy. And then you start kind of losing all these people. And it's like, those are not your people.
No.
The soul people, the soul family of the that's part of your experience are coming
Yeah.
to you.
Mhm.
They're showing up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I went through the shift joining y'all.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Like I shift every time we come to this space. I feel like I shift in a new way, and I love it. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
Because we can't just fucking stay the same. I mean, we can. It's a choice. It's a choice.
Oh my
And
God.
people are like, "Oh, I can't do this because of this." And it's like,
No.
no.
No. And that's why I was saying that when you're really shifting, it is uncomfortable.
Yes.
It's something that, and then we become better people. We become our higher selves. We learn our lesson. We figure out what our inner strengths are. You know, like Tapi, I feel like you are still going through it, but you have went through a huge shift, you know, not just it's physically because you're pregnant for 9 months and then you're not pregnant. Hormonally, that is a whole fucked up level. And then mentally, all of those things, you know, and like it hits some people really hard, you know, and that's a big lesson. And our bodies are transitioning, literally transitioning.
Mhm.
And so you're having to shift along with that, you know. That's something that I feel like is a lot of people go through, so a lot of people can relate. You know,
Mhm.
that's something that's super normal to understand that things like that happen and it's normal.
Mhm.
You know, it's a good thing that you can share that for other people to relate to, you know. And then there's so many different ways, you know, like Rachel, her, you know, ways of healing, and Shaylin, your ways of healing and my ways of healing, you know, it's going to resonate with somebody. And
Mhm.
you know, it's going to resonate with somebody on a different level, and they're going to be able to apply that to their life.
Mhm.
You know, and I feel like this place that we create for people is a beautiful thing.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
whole like when we can shift out of whatever we're feeling that feels heavy, like there's like there's medicine in that, right? It's teaching us something.
Yeah.
But when we can shift into a state of love
Yes.
quicker than anything and get into that vibration, it shifts everything around us. You're shifting everything. You're shifting your home. You're shifting the people that you come into contact with every day when you go out to the store. That love that you're embodying is affecting everybody that you engage with.
It
Mhm.
radiates.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And so
Yeah.
Tappy was talking about she's doing all these things with love. Like that's the shift.
Mm-hmm.
Is when we can be in that space of just really feeling love for ourselves and everything and everyone around us with no judgment, not creating a fucking story around it all, right? Just really holding that space for love. That's what it's about. For
Yeah.
me, that's what it's about. Because it feels better. It feels good. And
Yeah.
I think we all deserve to feel good.
Right.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we are supposed to sing Rachel happy birthday to
Oh,
make her feel good.
In creamy, look. Oh.
Guys, our ladies. What?
Here's my
Aw.
birthday streamers.
woo!
Happy birthday!
I love
And they-
you.
Oh, look, they match.
Oh yeah, it's blue. I knew. I was feeling blue for a reason.
See?
Love it.
Aw, that's so sweet. Thank you.
Well-
Do we all have our candles?
Let me light mine. Hold on.
Okay.
I have a candle. Wait, I have a candle. I'm not gonna blow it out. I'll let it burn with the full moon.
Here's mine.
Oh.
Ow, ow. Okay, tell me when you're lit, Rachel.
Okay, I'm lit.
Okay.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday,
Dear Rachel. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh my God, love you.
Yes. Well, I mean, today was great. We might think about doing a part 2.
Yeah, I just don't think it will stop. You know, it will come up in probably every
Yeah.
episode.
Well, and like you were saying, you want to do things that feel good, so we do things through love. Like your body will tell you when something isn't right.
Yeah.
Your body will tell you when something doesn't feel right, or you need to heal with something, or a situation, or even a person. Your body's going to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
You know.
like I have a question. Your body can like make you feel uncomfortable when something's not going right. But what if you just like keep thinking about it and you're thinking of, or maybe you're thinking of the relapse of everything keeps happening over again. Something keeps happening over again. This could be a relationship with somebody, or it could be a relationship with yourself. Like your body tells you like, okay, I've had enough of this, right? Like it doesn't feel good. It makes me feel yucky. But like, are you talking about like physical body or like, I don't know.
I feel like our emotional body and our physical body will like speak to each other.
Our emotions speak to us through our body.
Yeah. And in my experiences, if something wasn't right, I knew it. There's a reason. I don't know. Like there's been people that I've just been like, ew. And then there's been places where I've been like, ew. And situations where
I'm like you.
You're like
ew.
you're like
Like,
you.
So that has to be something, and it can't just be me where it's like our innate
It's like survival.
yeah, it's like an
It's like-
intuition that
Yeah.
is just there. It's like a primal part of us.
Yeah.
So it could be, I just feel like those two things, like Rachel was saying, emotionally and physically, those things should be speaking to each other and will give you a signal. If you're aware, your consciousness is aware. And so I always try to be in my right mind and my right body, because I want those messages. I want to hear them. I want to feel them.
Yeah. I think that's why healing is so, and knowing yourself is so important, because if you've if you have experienced a lot of trauma,
Yeah.
or, you know, had experiences that you haven't healed from, it's hard to differentiate what is a traumatic, you know, expression coming through, or your intuition, if you're not in tune with that. Because I think I used to basically, like, this is kind of getting heavy and that might trigger some people, but because I was sexually abused, and then I was raped when I was 19, and then I was like basically taken advantage of when I was unconscious, which I don't know what they call that nowadays. But so those experiences,
Right.
and then being conscious and sober and clear-minded and trying to engage sexually with somebody, my body like would reject that, like naturally reject that. But I would check out mentally. I would like check out of the experience. I was not fully like, I didn't feel safe in my body to appreciate that and to, you know, allow that to be a good experience. So that was my experience of trauma, rejecting something that wasn't like, you know, maybe not necessarily not good for me, right? But it was because I hadn't really processed those things or healed from those things. My body was like constantly like, no, like literally like my like legs would squeeze together and push the person away from me, like out of me.
Oh my
And
God.
so it's knowing yourself. It's knowing who you are, knowing what you need to do to connect with yourself, to love yourself, to heal yourself, to forgive
heal.
yourself, to forgive
Right.
others.
Yeah.
Then you can start to listen to
Yes.
like, does this feel good to me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Does this feel like safe? Do
Just
I feel
supposed to.
safe in this space?
Right.
And you can consciously choose that shit.
Right. And
Yeah.
what you're talking about, Rachel, that's like that's traumatic muscle memory.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then learning about that, understanding it, and how to release it, you know, that's a part of your healing, you know. And then
it comes up a lot in birth, in like labor and delivery especially.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
because birth is so sexual that you can experience the feelings all over again, whether or not you're like, it's another person, you know, it's with yourself. And yeah, that's a whole nother topic, but there's so many situations that you can encounter in your life that could play heavily with what we're talking about in that.
yeah.
But and then once you're aware of something, it can't have control over you unless you let it. So
Exactly.
the awareness is showing you where you can shift your perception around it.
Yeah.
I can now tell my body I'm safe. I'm safe in my body. I love my body. Like, you know, I can tell a new story now. It doesn't have to be trauma and drama and all that shit.
Yeah.
I can completely shift that now because I'm aware of what was coming up, what that was about.
Right. That's because you healed that part. You created healing within you, or you're still within the healing process and shifting that narrative.
Yeah, I would say I'm processing.
Yeah.
Like in a my feelings and perceptions and the way that I believe around that now is a lot different than what it was before. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
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 Good
And
stuff.
it's just like, be so gentle with yourself, whatever it is that you want to, you know, move through. You could just ask yourself, like, what is a story that I'm telling myself, that I know that I keep telling myself, because I know I keep telling myself the story because I keep feeling a certain way all the time. Right. So people that are listening, ask yourself, what are the stories I'm telling myself?
Right.
And are they uplifting me, or are they keeping me down and keeping me small and limited?
Yeah.
And
that's
start with that.
Yeah. That's why I was saying, you know, watch how you speak to yourself, you know, and because my mom always says your body's always listening. So, you know, and we have our internal dialogue is we talk to ourselves more than we speak to anybody else ever. Like I answer myself, I ask myself questions and answer myself all day long. All day.
Same here. Everyone's like, "What the fuck did you say?" I'm like, "Oh, no."
Like out loud in public too, like in the fucking store.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Ask yourself a question and then answer. You want pizza tonight? Yeah, I want pizza tonight. Oh, okay. Well, let's order pizza. Okay. Like,
Dude, I want pizza now.
yeah, our internal dialogue is so important. How we speak to ourselves, the stories that we tell ourselves. You know, like you said, Rachel, it's so important because our thoughts are powerful just as much as our words. Those things can manifest. You know, if you think you can manifest, you know, your happiness, your joy, your love, your peace, why can't you manifest the bad shit you're thinking in your head? You know, just as powerful. So watch your mind, watch your mouth. Your body's always listening.
That's why we smudge all those places.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You smudge all those places.
Yep.
Words are spells.
Yeah. Exactly.
Every time I smudge when I go to hear good things in about myself, you know, to speak good words to myself and to others. Yeah. I say those things when I smudge too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Well,
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for sharing, everyone. Oh my gosh. I think
thank you. Thank
I
you.
have so much to think about now, and I love thinking. So I think I feel like I'm like coming away with something from this conversation. So thank you.
Yeah.
Me too.
Me
Me too.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff.
Okay,
Well,
folks.
Thanks for watching
Thank you.
and tuning in.
All
We'll
peace and
see
love.
everybody next week
Yes. We'll see you
for
next week.
episode 4.
Yeah.
Expanding love.
Love it.
Ooh. We'll have to talk about that one.
Just
See you
go
later.
do it. Just go do it.
Love yourself. Have a good week.
Peace.
Yes.
Bye.
Happy birthday again, Rachel. We love
Thank
you.
you.
Love you, Rachel.
Love you.